Whale and the birds. Lately, my 4-year-old daughter has been full of questions. Her mind a bird, swooping to peck at every fragment, scavenging to name, provide order, find answers to her surroundings. This is my house. I am Marshallese in Samoan. My favorite food is fish and rice, she states. Identifiers that steer her through the biting salt of an unfolding world. Her questions challenge me, teaches me patience of breath, of count to 3, closed eyes, and yes, embrace her curiosity. Give answers that are honest even if they are painful. Questions I am sometimes unable to answer, like when we watch the news and she hears my conversations and I have to say yes. Some people do believe that children can be illegal, and yes, some believe that families do not belong together. I must admit, I am haunted by the images of the soft brown of a child's skin against the cold iron of a cage, so similar to my girls after the cold of a swim, joyful trails of sand grasping the soft of her brown skin. And is this not scripture waiting to be written? That islands that have only until 2030 to be habitable will create more children like these, searching for safe harbor, how fate awaits us in boats as well, how hate looks like willful ignorance and a nation that forgets its own settler history, and a man with a whale of an ego is similar to the whale in the story I tell my daughter at night, the legend of the whale and the bird. A whale who balloons with arrogance, taunts the birds of the skies, deems itself dominant, powerful. Is it so much of a stretch to see the similarities between the cruelty of dominant policies, how over 2,000 children separated from their families is related to rhetoric that deny the reality of rising seas, how 1.5 becomes a horizon farther and farther to reach? So the questions that challenge me continue to circle around faith. Faith to continue to fight when hopelessness is so much easier. Easier instead to let reports of island apocalypse and malicious laws sink below the surface to the dark depths, dark places no one can reach. As I think this, I pass little boys on the corner cloaked in the blinding white heat of another afternoon in Medjero. Cars swoop past, unaware of these two, who slam scavenged green coconuts against concrete. Shirts drenched, mouths wide open, they gulp down the sun, wipe their lips, glare at me for my staring intrusion. And in that instant, my phone signals an article, 600 people in Washington arrested by Capitol Police for standing against the whale's treatment of migrant families. And I am reminded again of the legend of the whale and the bird, how thousands of tiny birds fluttered across the sky, gulped down every drop of the sea, leaving an arrogant whale beached, thirsting, forcing him to admit that yes, smallness is a state of mind, and yes, an ocean begins with a single drop, and yes, maybe answers begin this way too, and yes, so too does faith. Thank you.